Hello, hello. How are you all? Gianni Namona here. Elias late as always. Even though he's not late. How are you doing? Aw, thank you, Radigo, for the headband. I appreciate it. Thank you. Today I had a wholesome experience while shopping. I had to buy a few things, and the guy in front of me just was like, yo, you can go ahead. Even though he was already loading his stuff onto the conveyor belt, he was just like, yep, you can go ahead. That was super nice. I didn't even ask. He was just like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he was super nice. I also dropped my phone today into the water. It's fixed though. I got lucky. Yeah. His beer is certainly jelly. Which he bought a lot of. But yeah. How was your day? Did you have a good day? How's your dog? You mentioned last time that he was sick. Yep. Not late this time. Glad to hear it. So, when do we want to start with the game? This is the first time you guys see me play this game, I think. But I played it on stream before. I was a Teenage Exocolonist. Basically in this game... ad break. Alright, let's just walk it around a bit. Injured, yeah. $5.K! 5.2K. I think I need to make something that's worth for you to save on. No, I do not drink energy drinks. But I'll find something for you. To make it worth. Alrighty. Last time we all grew a little older. We entered puberty and became teenagers. So yeah, before then everyone was kids. Now everyone is teenagers and has a new design. And Emona looks cute. Alright. I'm not gonna stub my toe. Hell nah. Not for a million points. But I'll find something. You catch Cal at the gate to the gardens. He's carrying a big bucket of rocks. Hi, Solana, he exclaims. I'm supposed to tell you there's a new park near the geoponics now, Cal says. We can around all we want and nobody will say we're trampling on the fields. You should play there sometimes. I'd like to relax in the park. That's nice. Yeah, we need some time off, but first we gonna explore a bit. Tangent, our bestie. Tangent looks up from her holopalm, blinking as her eyes refocus on the middle distance and then on you. Her previous long hair is gone, bust close to her scalp. You almost didn't recognize her when you first saw her. You wonder if it was caused by a lab accident or something. Hello, Solana, she says, already cagey. Did you need something? Hair! Thanks, Rocks. It's too hot here, she says dismissively. If evolution hasn't seen fit to solve the problem, then adaptive behavior has to do. I like women with short hair. What about you guys? Tank stares at you blankly for a few seconds, trying to figure out if you're making fun of her. Your opinion is noted. She says, finally. Thank you. Tank turns back to her reports. It's not about looking good, she says. It's simply more efficient. Oh, Tag. Marts. Would you guys like to live on an alien planet? I think it would be interesting. Alright, you entertain yourself by throwing snowballs down at people from your hideaway on top of the wall. It's a lot of fun to watch them whip around, uncertain where the snowballs are coming from. You hope your laughter doesn't give you away. We don't really want to forget either. Keep your memories? Yes. It's your birthday. You wake up from a night of blissful, peaceful dreams. No nightmares, no premonitions. Just a pleasant feeling of contentment. You stretch your arms over your head, blinking in the watery, quiet sunlight that seeps through the porthole window. Things are always changing on Ratoon now, but you can't help but feel like things are changing for yourself too. Not just your body, but your mind, your emotions, your future. 14 is going to be your year. Your parents have been working around the clock since the last attack, trying to get the fields right again in time for this year's planting. Spark snow has already started falling, and every day they come home complaining how about having to clear it. They ask you to ping them when you're awake so you can share birthday breakfast in your quarters instead of sitting shoulder to shoulder with everyone else during breakfast service in the canteen. You fire them a message and lie back in your bunk, watching dust motes float lazily in the light. After a minute, there's a knock on the door. It's antecedent. She sweeps into your room in a bustle of skirts and shawls, sits down beside you on your bunk. "Oh, look at you," she says. "Happy birthday, beautiful. 14 years old." She leans in and gives you a motherly kiss on the forehead. It's been years since she took care of you in the children's crash, but all the kids still call her auntie and think of her as a close relative. Her sweet baking bread smell is as comforting as it ever was. She sits back and takes one of your hands both in hers. "Hello, Ivy." "Solana, ever since I held you in my arms as a baby, I knew you were special, so important." Yeah, she's cute. "You're becoming a young woman, but I want you to know I always will be here for you, just like your mom and dad," she says firmly. Enough of the mushy stuff. Alright. Have a nice day, ready go. Thank you for the headband. She laughs and releases your hand. "Well then, Miss Maturity, how about you call me Aunt Anne from now on, like the other adults do?" "Now come on here," Aunt Anne says, spreading her arms wide. "Give us a great big hug." You hug her, enveloping in the warm, familiar softness of her. Over her shoulder you see Anemone standing in the doorway. Well, her hair anyway. She's been growing it out. There's no hiding it behind the corner. She skips into your quarters. "Happy birthday, Bat," she says, bouncing on your bunk. "Way to get older. Enjoy being 2 years older than me for a few months." "It's good you're both here," Anne says. "Now that you've both been menstruating for about a year." And Mona makes a face and mutters, "Yuck." But Anne continues. "You're both eligible for the cassitation implant. Among other things, it will prevent the bleeding and pain and the emotional roller coaster of your monthly cycle." Lovely. Huh. "Mom!" Anemone hollers. "Gross! Do you have to tell everybody about my cycle? I just don't want to get pregnant, okay?" Anne laughs. "Well, yes, that is the among other things part. But I don't expect you to be needing that part for a few years yet, right?" Anima looks disgusted by the prospect. Or maybe just her mom talking about it. Grosseroni, what's the matter? Ah, Grosseroni. We're a teenager. Right? And Amara agrees. She's always like this. You think this is bad? When I got my period, she made a cake with a red gooey center that says, "Welcome to the womb." Welcome to the womanhood. She rolls her eyes. It's bad enough. I shut up overnight and got boobs. I want to cry all the time. She has to go around to telling everyone too. Oh, Anemone. I'd be embarrassed too. Your parents finally arrive, still damp from the fields, bringing in the smell of crisp, tangy snow in their clothes. "Oh, look, birthday visitors!" your dad exclaims. "Anne, are you staying for breakfast?" Anne reaches into her bag and brings out a stack of Tiffany's. "No, thank you, but I brought your order with me from the kitchens, seeing as I was stopping by." She pets your hand one more time. "Happy birthday again, Solana. You'll always be my baby, even if you're all grown up." Your mom shakes her head as Anne and Anemone leave. "Oh, Anne," she laughs, sentimental to the core. She starts laying out on the cutlery for breakfast, but I don't know how the colony will manage without her in the children crash, she says, and points a fork at you. "Family is more than the people that birthed you, Solana. Don't you forget it. Got it?" Mid-quiet. We took a little break last month. Let's see if we can talk to anybody special. No. But we're super well rested, clear mind. No stress. That's nice. Tang, which watches a string roach skitter behind some nearby boxes, a look of intense disgust on her face. "I hate it here," she spits, shuddering. "Giant bugs, constant peril, climate. We were better off on a ship," she grimaces. "Many humans carry the enormous beliefs that we were great explorers, but I cannot see how this is true. It would be better if we could photosynthesize or breathe gases other than oxygen, or endure a great range of temperatures. No, you see, all humans have ever going for us is that until now, that there have been more than enough of us to die idiotic deaths without making a dent in our overall reproductive fitness." Ooh. Bad mood, girl. I remember. We want to train biology and or we can tutor children, which gives us reason and empathy. Empathy is not bad. It also gives us kudos. Yeah, let's tutor. You show up at the class to find Congruence teaching a classroom of younger children. and says it's nowhere to be found. In the absence of further direction, you settle in to help the students with their work. After half an hour, Instant pokes her head into the classroom. "Oh good, you're already here," she says. "I trust you'll be able to handle yourself in all subjects and with students of all ages. Ask Kangaroo if you need any help." She turns to leave, but stops to turn back on you. "Thank you, Solana," she says quietly. "Since Professor Hell died, well, Kangaroo and myself are poor replacements for him. I'm grateful for your help." "You're welcome." You settle in to help the younger students learn how to use their holopalms to access the HoloNet, Kangaroo's massive database. Kangaroo has everything they could ever need: music, movies, games, novels, comics, a calculator, a timer, an encyclopedia, textbooks, the colony's social media, specialized tools for different jobs like architectural holograms. It's a massively powerful tool, and it's in their literal hands. They're mostly interested in the games, obviously. Some understand it less than others. "Why do we gotta read about that stuff?" Nougat whines, poking dejectedly at her holoscreen. The skin around her newly implanted holopalm looks a little red, like she keeps picking at it. "I just want to play." We're an engineer. Let me show you something. You show Nougat how to look up videos about sports ball. She's totally enraptured by it. "Whoa!" she exclaims. "I can watch people play sports ball on my hand anytime? Turbo!" Nougat is 7 and full of energy. The other kids are able to settle down to work on their biology assignment, drawing pictures of the xenofauna they live on Retuna to put in a classroom diorama. But Nougat prefers a more creative approach. You look at her drawings. Nougat's animals all have extra wings or heads, robotic treads, laser turrets, or top hats. Some aren't even close to the reference image. You know what? Let's encourage her. You praise Nougat's creativity. Yes. That Hopeye does look better with a jetpack. Everything looks better with a jetpack. Let's be honest here. Nougat is proud of herself and works diligently on her project. Yes, the class diorama looks a little eccentric when it's all complete, but at this age it's more important to keep a child engaged than it is to teach them academic skills. Nougat gives you a big hug when class is over. "I hope you're my teacher all the time." Aww. Alright. For those who watch me play this for the first time, basically we want as many points as possible. Okay. Let's see. And having the same color or number gives extra points, and a flush gives also extra points. Let's see. 6, 5, and then a bunch of 2s. Can we do... Is this better? No, this is the same. +2 to a card. That would be a 4. Which is better. That's a 34, but that's... If we had a 3, it would be perfect. Actually, how much is this? Nah. That's about as much as we can get here. We don't hit the super goal, but it's fine. Got some money, got reasoning, got empathy. In order to get the actual skills, we need to legit reach the stats. Collectible. Glittering cluster. Alright. Let's do some more tutoring. You're headed off on lunch break when you see Martz and Tang sitting together in the engineering break room. Tang is eating a sandwich while also scrolling her holopalm with it. Martz is half collapsed on the table, barely holding her head up on her hands as she pouts at Tang. Come on, she whines. You said we're gonna hang out after lunch. Aren't you done eating yet? Tang takes a slow, deliberate bite of her sandwich and chews while making eye contact with Martz. Tang never change. It goes from funny to awkward to hilarious as Martz's face falls and she puts her head on the table and groans. Proper mastication is important for digestive health, Tang answers primly, a smile curling on its top at the corner of her mouth. Never change, Tang. You can masticate in private, Martz mutters. What are you reading, and how is it more important than me? Your best and only friend on the planet. Girl, I'm her best friend. Just something for work. It's really interesting. I didn't know Dr. Instance was so well published, even though she was only 25 when the Strato left Earth. She was basically a prodigy, practically a prodigy, like me. She looks at her holoscreen again. It's absolutely fascinating. We're so lucky to have such an accomplished researcher here in Matumna. Read over the shoulder. You take a seat at the table and sneak a look at Tang's screen. You catch a few words. Robotism, tissue tropism, RNA, protein sheets, intrinsic immunity, maybe something to do with viruses? From the picture, possibly also fungi? Without further examination, it's hard to tell. Tang notices you looking and shuts off her holopalm, shooting you a cool look. Is it something to do with shimmer sickness? Wait. Haha, Tang liked that. Tang looks startled but pleased. She turns her holopan back on, but tilted so you can read along. It's dense but interesting. And definitely about viruses that affect fungi. I didn't know you were interested in Instant older works as well, Solana. Thanks, says. Perhaps we can work together to parse the next session? It's particularly challenging. Sure thing. Oh my god, nerds! March laughs. Look at you two eggheads. Better you than me. Tang raises you with a small, thankful smile. You've been eating for like half an hour, Tang. Come on. March says, pulling her hands down her face. Please, can we go do something fun before some rampaging Xeno eats us? We're both too pretty to die from boredom. Thanks, Miles. You think I'm pretty, March? She asks, seeming generally curious. March sets her hand on top of Tang's. The prettiest, she swears. Her other hand over her heart. Even prettier than me. Well, I mean, I win in the looks department, but I think smart women get, like, extra points. Back off. Thanks, mine. Thanks, ass, putting her hand on top of Mart's hand and leaning in to fix March with an unusually flirtatious expression. Yes, do tell all about my great beauty, she deadpans. It's all I live for. March laughs and tosses her hair over her shoulder. You tune them out in favor of eating your lunch before you're expected back in engineering. Get to work. Not the best hand. Luckily, yes. That's a better hand. I mean, not ideal, but... Actually... +2 to a card, but we would lose the collectible. This would make us win. No, it wouldn't. Ah, shit. Okay, that's a good hand. Unfortunate that we lost our collectibles because of it. Super goal. Now that's a good hand. Gives us extra reasoning, bit of extra kudos. We're almost there with reasoning. Poland. Our favorite sickness month. You spot Tang leaning against the wall outside engineering. She's yawning, rubbing her eyes, staring off into space. She startles as you walk up. Oh, Solana, I was just taking a short break. tired? Yes, she says simply. I didn't sleep last night, or the night before. I was working on a bonus assignment for biology class. You haven't slept in 2 days? More like 3, she replies. Then pauses for another jaw-cracking yawn. But as I said, I'm tired. Even my enhanced body has limitations. Look at her quizzically. I don't need to sleep as much as other people. It's genetic, was it? She says fogily. You know, a DNA enhancement. I guess sometimes even I forget to do it. I should set myself a reminder. Hello. Add to schedule, sleeping nightly 23 for 3 hours. Tension nods. That should do it, she murmurs. Her eyes practically close. Give her an energy drink. By the time you return with the energy drink, Tang has rallied to herself and looks more awake. Thank you, she says, groggy but making an effort. That should be enough for me to put the finishing touches on my projects and make it back to my quarters. Tattoo friendship with Tang? Nice, nice, nice. And it's time to tutor again. You're helping Anemona with her math assignment. Ugh, Anemona groans, rubbing her hands down her face. I hate this. I don't want to do any more math. Other kids like you get to choose what they do all day now. But I'm stuck here learning stupid linear algebra. Okay, I hate algebra too. I feel you, girl. It's linear algebra, but you don't correct her. I'm only here because my mom told me I gotta take more math and science classes, she grumbles. She says if I want to do anything except play sports ball all day, I need to know stuff. She smirks. Joke's on her, I only want to play sports ball. +1 bonus to pairs. That's pretty nice. Yeah. What? No worries, Alana. Anima punches you in the arm. Well, when am I ever gonna use linear algebra anyway? I'll bet I'm gonna do sports ball a lot more than I'm gonna have to solve for X. No wait, let's make a deal, she continues, leaning in. You teach me the stupid physics things, and I can teach you a cool sports ball move. Deal! Yeah! To friendship with Anemone. You spent the next few hours trying to get Anemone to understand the difference between an expression and an equation. She puts up a valiant attempt, but by the end, you both feel confident that she's at least a little more prepared for class. True to her word, she takes you out to the sports ball pitch and kicks the sports ball at your hands so many times you're forced to learn how to block it. That's Anemone for ya. Alright. We can do something here. That's good enough. Actually, no, we do need this one. 13 kudos. 10 stress. I think we probably need one more time to max out reasoning. You're at lunch with your parents. Sliced soy cakes, watery broth again. Great. When they put down their cutlery, look at each other. Solana, your mom says, there's something we should tell you. We've tried to shelter you from some things, but we think you should know why we've been working so hard in geoponics. There's a meeting after lunch, and I want you to come with us. Okay. You follow your parents to the council room. Mart's also tagged along, and you take a seat near them. As your mom, Aunt Anne, and sent to address the council. After Unicode officially calls the meeting, she gestures to your mom. I'm not gonna mince words, your mom says firmly. All our efforts to increase food production and the geoponics have failed, especially given the failure of the pixie beans. The destruction of the fields during the last attack put the nails on our coffin. By the end of the year, the colony will run out of food. The rest of the council murmurs in concern. You and March exchange horrified looks. You've been doomsaying our food supply for 2 years, Lolulu. Rat questions. Do you mean to say we're past the point of no return? Yep, pretty much. Your mother nods grimly. I'm afraid so. Even with rationing, without securing a Vertumnan food source, our supplies will run out by wet season. She gestures to Anne, whose face is grave. Anne and I have gone over to supplies and come up with food plans. We've crunched the numbers. Your mom sighs and spreads her hands. I'm sorry, geoponics should have been producing better by now. We should have been able to wean ourselves off soy rations. During the wormhole transit, we lost our hydroponics and the hull breach, she sighs. I know I've said it so many times, but our crops don't grow here. We needed those Alkia tanks. We needed the microbial soil from Earth. Why weren't we told earlier? Yeah, March agrees. Why weren't we told? We have the right to know. We live here too. She stands up and slams her hands on the table. We've been here for 4 years. We could have been helping this whole time. And all you did was have meetings about it. The council looks at March with surprise, then contempt. Utica chuckles weakly. Imagine being carried for so long and being upset that your feet could not be cut by the rocks. She waves one shaking hand. Seeing the future is the privilege of the youth. Thank goodness we have them to point out our flaws. March sits back down again, confused by Utica's words but fuming at her dismissive tone. So what do we do now? Instance asks. Starving to death isn't an option. No, it isn't, your mom replies. We need to secure a food source this year, before our rations run out. We're working double shifts in geoponics, but it isn't enough. We need more people planting, tending, turning the soil. We need more hands. I can pull back the surveyors and focus on foraging native plants Utopia offers. Even the young folks can help if they've proven themselves around the survey equipment. I'll send out a holo messenger later. Unlock Forge in the Valley expedition. Ooh boy. Starting. This has been a burden of the geoponics for too long, Udicott says. It's time we all step up for our future. The council nods in agreement. Your stomach rumbles ominously. Mid-palm. Well, I say foraging is pretty important. And we are brave enough. Well, I'll be, Utopia drawls, grappling you playfully. You ain't lying, kid. You got grit. She scans the roster on her holopad. Yep, looks like you've been approved to start with the junior survey team. And you look like you won't wilt at first sting of slapgrass. We'll keep you close to begin with, round here, in the prosaic plains. Come see me when you're ready for an assignment. Nah. I don't want to do this. Okay. Let's see what's good for us. Survey the plains. Biology is something we want to train. So let's forage in the valley. Utopia greets you warmly as you muster for your first expedition and the foraging team. Solana, I'm glad you could make it. We need everyone we can to get out here right now, boosting our food supplies. I'm ready to sniff those tasties. Good luck hunting out there, she says, handing you an oversized backpack. More like a basket than a pack. Use your holopalm to identify edible and medical plants. Just throw them in here. I'll sort them back at the base camp. Oh, and keep a lookout for creatures. It's pretty peaceful out there in the valley, but even a little buck, I'll get ya. If you're not careful, go slow, pay attention to surroundings. If you're unsure about something, don't approach it. Stay on the path, don't get lost. We don't call it the Valley of Vertigo for nothing. Now, what sorts of shit? Utopia shows you how to use your holopad to determine something edible. There's a whole category on your holopedia, including photographs and scientific names. It's mainly plants, but there are some minerals and other things that don't look edible at first glance. There's a lot out there we haven't found yet, she says. Document anything you find that looks like it could be useful. But don't put anything in your mouth until you check with me first. Even if it looks edible, it might be a lookalike. Even the plants are sneaky. Yeah, you should not eat what you don't know, right, guys? You're about to leave when Autopia snaps her fingers. Hold up, Solana. We're also investigating some species we might domesticate. Those we'll want to tag and capture. Ideally, we're looking for herbivore creatures that already live in herds, and either produce something edible or reproduce quickly enough we can slaughter them for meat. If you see anything that fits the bill, tag him and bring him back. Got it. Valley of Vertigo. A yellow flower. Your path is blocked by a massive 8-legged xenofauna. Something between a spider, a squid, and a bear. That's an interesting combination that I did not expect to hear about. It's in a range, grunting furiously and bashing itself against trees and rocks at random. You duck and hide as it glares in your direction. It breathes heavy, and dozens of eyes gleaming with madness. You remember a creature in your bestiary that sort of sounds like this monster. They're called Verki, but were much smaller. You don't exactly have time to look it up now. Alright, we'll sing to it. 3 rounds. It's an animals challenge. But let's see. This, and this. Ain't perfect, but it's fine. Yeah. Three, 4. Alright. Final round, 50 points. That's gonna be tough. I don't think we're going to make it. Three, 4, 5. 1 and 1. Well, we didn't make it. Give me a hydrate. But yeah. I have water here. Third is rest. The mass of animal's many eyelids begin to droop. Then it shakes its grumpily and roars in annoyance at you. It tramples over you, ouch, and runs off into the jungle. Well, at least you can pass now. We find an egg, that's nice, that's nice. Scoop it out. Perception challenge. Okay. This is pretty nice. If we had another red card, that is. Alright, that's not bad. And a 3. That's a straight. Alright. Five, 4, 3. And a 2. Well, again, we're defeated. You scratch your head. Yeah, ground slump, you're right. Walks away. You take a few steps, then the ground caves in. You sink up to your thigh-high and foul-smelling sticky liquid. Ugh, gross. What is, It's just a patch of unripe potato. You must have ruptured their membranous skin. Unfortunately, unripe potatoes smell awful, and so will you for the rest of the expedition. Lovely. Okay. Alright, you come across not just one recreate, but a whole swarm of them. Mostly just baby ones, about the size of your head. They all amassed around a massive tree, scurrying up and down the trunk. And you can see the tree itself under the swarm. You notice that the same pale pink as the baby recreate. Its tentacle like roots meander a fairly large distance before plunging into the ground. When a weak sees you approach, they get agitated. They look hungry, definitely hungry, like a dozens of hungry, grapefruit-sized, furry pink spiders. The stuff of nightmares. Alright, fight them. Card becomes 3. It's not terrible, but not great. German ad? Nice. Next round. 45. Five, 5, 3. Oh, I can do this. Getting myself a straight. Yeah. Nothing but defeat. Kudos. Spiders. Spiders bad. In your frenzy, you trip over one and clunk your hand. You wake up on the ground with dozens of them scurrying over you. You're about to be lunch for these tiny beasts. You bolt upright and start running. Don't stop until you're back at the depot. Settle down, Zolana. Utopia lass. Those baby Verki don't eat anything bigger than fruits and insects. Well, mostly they don't. Screw spiders, even cute ones. You're too worn out and tired to continue. You have to go home now. Well, that didn't go well. Well, we're clearly not fit for this. Ah, lock. We need 3 locks. I remember that. I always use them, even though I shouldn't. But yeah, let's go back to tutoring. Ah no, we need to rest. Right. Relax on the walls. You enjoy some quiet times when you look down and see a group of school children on a field trip outside the walls. Wait, are you missing a field trip? Maybe you are missing something by doing all your schoolwork up here alone. This card is not exactly useful. Early dust. But yeah, let's go back to tutoring. You spot Tang sitting on a large boulder outside the lab. She's eating a pressed soy bar ration with determination, alternating bites with huge gulps of water to wash it down as quickly as possible. What are you doing out here? She stops her grim work long enough to acknowledge your question. I hit the limit on the number of consecutive hours that they allow me to work on the lab, she says, so I'm taking a break. How dare they? That's what I said. Tang replies. They just think they can boss me around because I'm younger. She scoffs. I'm smarter than any 2 of them combined. Ugh. Tang groans and rubs her bloodshot eyes. I just want to work, you know. It's so frustrating to be deep in the zone, feeling like I'm just a precipice of a discovery, then someone tells me that apparently my genius is taking too long. I want to treat them like I belong there, the way Dr. Instance does. Tang mutters. She actually respects me. They're just jealous that she likes me more. Tang slides off a boulder, and you can see the color blend from her face as she stumbles into you, nearly crumbling out on the ground. Oh, she grunts out, leaning over while the dizziness passes. I thought the nourishing uptake of the bar would have bit quicker than a real meal, especially after taking into account the time required to walk to the cafeteria. She trails off, realizing she clutches your jacket and pushes you away. My apologies, she says, brushing herself. I'm regrettably, it seems, only human. Tang scrubs her hands over her face, like something. It feels like I'm prisoner in my own body. I can feel like I'm myself trapped in the stinky, sweating bag of meat and bad impulses, stuck with a burden of keeping it alive every day of the rest of my life. And Tang scowls and wipes her eyes angrily. Reflexive recrimination is an evolutionary response to emotional and physical stress. She snaps. In other words, no, I'm not crying. It's just resentment for my physical form. It reminds me when I was, an instance used to gene tech to give me this body, the right body. Only this body is wrong too, she adds quietly. It's right in a lot of ways, but it's still imperfect. It's still human. If I were an AI, everything would be more simple. I could just do my work, I could just do what I'm good at. No messy biological functions, no emotions, just clear, beautiful purpose. I hate this. I hate feeling like this. I think you're beautiful the way you are. Oh. Thanks, gals. Oh, how nice of you. She sneers. You're right. People find me attractive makes everything all better. Never mind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the pain of being trapped in your own body. She wipes her eyes and straightens her jacket, then takes a deep breath, holds it in for 10 seconds, her eyes closed. By the time she opens them again, she looks ready to go back to work, as if nothing happened. You admire tensions and determination, but sometimes you think it might come at a price. Ooh, nice. But yeah. We can go out. But I don't think we will accomplish much with it. So, but I guess we still need the. Let's see. Fortune Valley, yeah. Fortune Valley, yeah. I hope to find enough of the little of the locks. We need locks. Oh, a biology challenge. Now here we are. That's our jam. Cup becomes 3. Next round. 4, 5, and 2. Okay, next round. We need 30. Oh, we got this. We easily got this. Right? Yeah, we got this. Yes, yes. Victorious. No skill changes. That's fine. +1 colony food. You're able to determine that these mushrooms are edible. You fill your basket with big chunks of tasty fungus. Utopia will be pleased with your haul. Good luck. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I wouldn't mind more biology challenges. Yellow flower. What we want is the mushroom logs. Yeah. A line of termite-like insects crosses the path here. Curious, you follow them to their destination. A massive sponge-like hive of crawling bugs, quivering with life. The bugs are tending a larvae nestled in the holes, feeding off the rich. It's gonna be tough. You step in for a closer look, hear a warning hiss from above. Atop the hive is a queen, whatever it is. Wait, no, she is the hive. Wait, this is a squencher hive. Her abdomen has swollen and lodged into the ground here, rendering her immobile, but not defenseless. The hive queen groans and growls at you. The air prickles with the burning flavor of acid. She must have some sort of go around it. You come out of the trees into a large grass clearing. The middle is, well, you cannot describe it as a pedestal. In the middle of the cradle of flowers sits a massive egg, easily larger than any egg you've seen before. It's white with red flags, and just sitting here in the middle. Pretty sure something will come. I want to explore a bit longer. There's a boba fruit. What is this? You spent some time working in a geoponics, so you know your way around a plant or two. Walking through this area, you notice different about it. The bare ground feels bouncy, like a trampoline. The plants all look weirdly stunted. Not a lot can stifle nature here, so it's honestly a little weird that there's no grass or moss growing here. Notice the unusual biodiversity. All the plants in this clearing are oddly stunted, and there are very few grasses or weeds. As though something has sucked all the nutrients out of the soil. Wait, is this even soil? You kneel and take a closer look. More like, dense moss and coral, maybe. You press a hand into the moist, squishy substance, It smells sweet and starchy, like a cake. It blankets ground here in thick sponge-like layers, swallowing up everything it touches. Gross, but it smells so good. You dig a large chunk of sponge cake up, bring it back to Japonics. Further analysis is needed, but you have a good feeling about this one. Nice, nice, nice. Something you'd like? No. You come a veritable feast of berry bushes. They look delicious. Research them first. Tensions focus. If we just had another 2. Let's keep this card for now. Let's do it like this. This is good. 2, 3, 4. Next round. Okay, we want to keep the gems. Yeah, let's change this. It becomes a 6. Lovely. Good, 30. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right, we're good. Two, 3, 4. We can. No, this doesn't. Well, it's fine. It's fine. We win. That being said, we can do better. Right? No, I don't think we can. But we win. Well, skill changes. Your research confirms that red berries are highly toxic. You shouldn't even be here. Go another way. We can harvest them. What are you trying here? You could have... Whoops. An absolutely enormous tree forms part of the path here. It roots cuts natural strains into the path, and its magnificent canopy of large, flat leaves completely blocks out the sky. They arc overhead almost to the ground on the other side. Walking under it is going through a tunnel, and the tunnel is dark and gloomy, unseasonably cool and filled with whispering leaves. You get the sense that something is aware of your presence. Climb up it. You climb up onto a big flat leaves. Surprised they can actually support your weight. Neat. You can get high enough out of the fog to see the whole area. It's pretty, but nothing else happens. Okay, let's see. You're alone, exploring an unmapped area of the Valley of Vertigo. The pollen is thick here, and your air filter is overworked. A warning light has been flashing orange for the last 10 minutes. But there are plants here that you've never seen before, flowers with intense rainbow hues, and strange lumps of fungal matter which pulse with their breathing. You cut some samples. Utopia will totally give you extra kudos. The pollen is especially thick up ahead, deep fuchsia and shimmering with color. Everything here seems to dance with tiny flecks of reflected light. It's kind of magical. Press forward. You push forward in this suffocating faint fog. It's so thick you can only see a few meters ahead. You follow the glimmering towards where it's densest. You come upon a glade filled with what seems to be strange topiaries. They loom out in the glittering fog, each in the shape of an animal. They all formed from strange, spongy, glittering pink substance dotted with finger-length fungal growths. You're so distracted you almost fall into a large hole in the center. Check for danger? Yes. You've seen plant-like animals before. Are those topiaries actual predators waiting for you to get close? You watch them carefully from the edge of the glade. They're completely still, not breathing. There's no life signs. Take a sample. As you bend down to take a sample, you realize the dense, shining haze is coming from the topiaries. The fog is seeping out of the holes at the end of each fungal growth. You break a few of the growths into a collection vial. You remember helping Tang for extra credit in biology class. She said that shimmer and the seasonal illness that affects your dad and pollen is some kind of colonizing fungal growth. Could this be related? Your environmental environment suit beeps louder. Yeah, let's leave. You exit the thick pollen and are able to see again. Your mask warning light starts flashing red. The filter is finally clogged. You got out there not a moment too soon. You lurch back to the checkpoint where the other foragers quickly replace the filter. Utopia chides you for not paying attention. Keep exploring. Yeah, we're too tired. But this was pretty successful, actually. +1 perception. It's time for Autumnalia, the yearly midsummer celebration where the colony gives thanks for the good fortune. Well, It would be. But as you file into the main square, you can't help but notice that the feast table is nearly empty. Unlike the resources she made up with care, the dishes are lovingly plated, soy cake, glistering, steam rises from the buns, stuffed with mince. They are great pictures of vegetables broths, rendered out from even the most inedible food scraps. There's a neat stack of sugar cubes for dessert. Whole sugar, what a luxury. It's an overwhelming feast. That'll be the highlight. Governor Udicott's welcoming speech this year is short. Her frail body trembles. Thank you for the hat pat. Ivy. Governor Udicott's welcome speech this year is short. Her frail body trembles as she welcomes you all in Returnalia in a dry, whispery voice, then has to be helped off the stage. Like all of you, she has been feeling the effects of the famine. I don't think she's gonna live much longer. Everyone clears away, cheers for the annual competition. Science fair, yet again. Tang has reworked her project from last year. You remember something terribly complicated about cell differentiation in Returnia species, plant, animal, fungus alike. She melted down when Dr. Instance pressed her on something, but this year she's all business, back and better than ever. She has not only corrected her error, but added a ton of more complexity and depth to her analysis. Instance listens intently and congratulates on her marvelous comeback. Alright. We should be able to do this. Let's turn this. Okay, this turns it into 7, but that's fine. Four and 2 and 2. Next. That's not great. Thank you for the hat pat, Jack. Yeah, it's unchangeable. This is the best we can do. Yeah. We're not gonna win this time. It's fine though. You've been stuttering the yearly attacks. They only happen during glow. Why? You've been graphing and analyzing survivor data on the animals and discovered that the attacks don't correlate with natural behavior or migration patterns. On a hunch, you started measuring wormhole waves frequency, but you keep getting interferences from all sorts of things inside the colony. Your results were inconclusive. It's dry and boring presentation, even more dry than Tang's, which is saying something. Tang wins. She's not very gracious about it. Don't feel bad, she says, packing away her chime poster and all her sides. Some people just don't have the natural curiosity and mental rigor that required for real science. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's okay to be just a fan of science. Each to their abilities. Yeah, Tang. Next year I beat you again. I just had a bad hand. Yeah, I'll hydrate. After festivities, the whole colony takes a few days off for a break. Well, except for Giaponics, and the forgers, and the kitchens, and everyone who uses the break from their usual work to help out in places that didn't close. Okay, it's not really a break. But you try to take it easy anyway. Hi, Girl Pie! Welcome back! Yeah, Tang is erosionist. Thank you for the hat pad. Alright, should we go again? More hat pads, thank you, Jack. You guys are so sweet. We got a lot. I say we go tutoring. This should give us the final... That's true. Tangent and Chief Engineer Instance have been hard at work in the lab trying to find a cure for the shimmering disease. You joined them in the research. You're the one who found the sample of the shimmering fungus and analyzed it. You're one of those... You're the one whose father suffers the most from it. You can confirm that the shimmer is an airborne fungal disease, and that the sick, choking spores in pollen are the same fungi from the Valley of Vertigo. The ones that colonize the host and turn their bodies into a spore-producing fungus. Finally, you have a long due breakthrough. Sunlight! You try calculations, antibiotics, antifungal creams, but what finally works is in a high-intensity light treatment, mimicking the full force of the sun's during dust, coupled with an injection to increase its potency. Of course, Tang exclaims. The fungus colonizes animal life during pollen, and some succumb to it, but to the intense light of dust scorches the fungus from the survivors. It's all part of the natural cycle. The treatment works on samples, now to test on a subject. Let's test it on ourselves. You open a triple-locked research room and pass through the airlock. You don't have your environment suit on, but that's the point. You need a strong dose of this fungus in your lungs. Friendship of Tangat. Tang is really our bestie here. The small room is filled with the shimmer fungus. It's growing on everywhere. On everything. The floor, walls, and lumpy shapes that were some kind of biological matter once. Now it's all just fungus. Violet, shiny. You breathe deeply, marveling at the feeling of soupy, dangerous air infiltrating your body. Tang watches you safely behind the thick plexiglass. You can't tell if she's jealous or impressed. Next, you slide into the light therapy machine to bask in the nice warm light for a while. You even have a nap. Dr. Instance takes your vitals and runs samples of your fluids through the various machines. She is extrusionated thoroughly. But after a few days, she concludes that the treatment is a success. You still carry a high fungal load, but its effect have been nullified by the light therapy. Remarkable, Instant says, going over your findings. Now that we have a frontline therapy, we can begin treating the population to prevent the fungus from taking hold. Nice, nice, nice. We have a cure. You look over to Tang. Solana's discovery will be great help with our other research. You expect Tang might be cross that you got the credit, but she nods, looking pleased. You're just thankful that no one else was killed. Not your father, not anyone else. The colony is safe from Shimmer. Nice, nice. That's awesome. Oh. Our power card. And this, and this, and this. I guess. Put it like this. Put it like this. Yeah. Yes! We got the reasoning. Mental boost. +1 to mental increases. Nice. Next we want biology and organizing. New perk. +1 to mental increases. Collectible. What was this? Biology and organizing. That's perfect. You've been studying the sponge cake you found out in the Valley Vertigo in the oddly squishy trampoline ground. As suspected, this type of fungus. The analysis bench tells you that it contains edible substances. Once dried and processed with a maturing agent, acidic spark snow would work nicely. It will be wonderful flour. The challenge is now to cultivate it. It multiplies quickly, and you've seen how it stops everything else from growing. I guess we should ask permission. Because the other thing could cause some problems. Ask for permission? No, absolutely not. She says before your eyes even open your mouth. Get that out of here before it contaminates the crops. We all know how the pixie bean experiment turned out, she says. I know you've studied the sponge cake, but I'm still not sure about it. I'm sure this is safe. I checked. You show her your research. Your mom rubs her face. I know. You're a real chip of all block, aren't you? You probably have its whole genome mapped already. Fine. Let's find a place for it. You plant the sponge cake in a special field quarantined on the other side of the geoponics domes from the rest of the crops. By the end of the month, you can already tell that it's taking root and it will start producing a viable food soon. You should get your first harvest during pollen, when the sponge swells up and is at its sweetest. Ooh, +5 colony food. Many of the Earth's crops grow through dust and need to be harvested before wet. This means the colony has more food available year round. It's going to be an incredible boon. Nice, nice, nice. You've had a project going in the greenhouse lab for a few years now, splicing the genomes of plants from both Earth and Vertumna, trying to come up with a way to make Earth plants more likely to take root and flourish in nitrogen-weak Vertumnan soil. Gene tech has always been part of your life. Everyone you know has some kind of genetic enhancement, and some had large-scale gene editing later in life, like tensions transition. You know it's possible, but your knowledge of Vertumnan genomes isn't as complete as human genomes. The trick is finding exactly the right Vertumnan genes to splice into exactly the right Earth plants. So, can you do it? Will be today the day you make your breakthrough? Let's find out! Not like this. No, we don't. This is terrible hand. This is better. Okay, this is good, this is good. One, two, three, 38. Question is, this is not better. No, wait, this is better. But it ain't good enough. $41. The mushroom log. Still ain't enough. We push through. Biology +4. We're almost there with biology. Then we only need organizing. You double check. Congruent simulations 100 times. The results are always the same. A truly viable genome composed of genes from both Earth. Probably Murphy. What's 15 stress in this kind of life? Yeah, exactly. A truly viable genome composed of genes from both Earth and Rotuna, and in every chemical situation congruence can run, it successfully takes root and flourishes. Nice, nice, nice. Colony food. Okay, I think we solved the food problem. I think we solved the food problem. You look at the tiny, barely sprouted plants. This could be the beginning of a new era of agriculture on this planet. Being able to plant crops that actually grow strong in the soil. It might only be one plant for now, but who knows? Maybe in the future you'll be able... a lot of a plate. Yeah! Being able to plant crops that actually grow strong. It might only be one plant for now, but who knows? Maybe in the future you'll be able to use these for all sorts of crops. Your mom has always been a result-oriented person. She doesn't like to experiment, just to see what might happen. She likes science that she already knows and trusts will work. When you call her to see what you've done, she smiles as proudly as you've ever seen her smile before. Even she can't argue with congruent results. You learn twice the kudos working in the lab from now on, in recognition of your contribution of the colony's continued survival. Increased rewards. Nice! Have a nice rest. Good night! Addy. You worked well? Yeah, we did. 6 biology. Mental boost. Organizing. Yeah. You're surprised when you wake up this morning and your mom and dad are both still in your quarters. Usually they're gone long before sunrise. You pull back the curtain. Wait, I just noticed something. One moment. Come on. Alright. It looks like the camera had turned off, but now it's good. Solana, Mom says, cradling a mug of black tea in her hands as your dad rubs her feet. Good morning. Good morning? Someone didn't hear the good news, your mom replies cheekily. We're announcing it later today, but guess what, kiddo? I think we're gonna be okay. Ha! We did it! She chuckles at your sleepy, confused look. The famine, she explains. We still need to do the work, but we pulled out of it. We got out of the spiral. We're going to be okay. Between farming and foraging, we secured enough food to make it through until harvest next year. Just until next year? Your mom shrugs. It's better than this year. We'll have to take stock again, but what we managed to do should keep paying off, and it won't take as much work next year. Nice. Your dad sighs happily. I'm already looking forward to dinner. I haven't really cooked in ages. What should we have? Sponge bread! Your mom calls it bunny chow. A square loaf of sponge cake bread. With the center cut out, stuffed with veggies and spices. Sweet, hot, and so good. Nice! Your parents cook a private meal in your kitchenette. Your dad does most of the work, but you help. When you sit down for a quiet family dinner, you realize this is the first time you've done this in you can't even remember how long. You talk about your day in the most mundane way possible. It's pleasantly normal. Status ended. Starving. You don't even get close to clearing your plate since your body isn't used to so much food. But that's okay. You eat slowly and savor it. Every bite is heaven, and made even better by knowing that you had a real impact on the colony future. Yeah, this year was very successful. We cured Shimmer, and we stopped the famine. Enhance your DNA in engineering. What? Yes, 14 was to be your year, indeed. Alright. Tinker with our DNA. Of all the people in the colony, you understand genetics the best, besides Dr. Instance, probably. She trusts you and attend the gene tech machine. With an access to a machine like this, you could give yourself a new genetic enhancement. Sure, you probably shouldn't mess with your genome too much in vivo, but one little change couldn't hurt. Of course I want to. Ooh, nice. A second enhancement. Extra fingers. Yeah, I think extra fingers is pretty useful. You heard that long ago having 6 fingers would have been something you tied or even removed. Some of the best musicians back on Earth have the gene for an extra finger though. It's a tricky process, much more complicated than modifying the mammal stem cells of an embryo. You wouldn't risk doing it again, but this time it works out. Dr. Instant knows what you've done, but you take her silence as tactical proof. Yep! We scienced hard! Silence as tactic improvement of your risky experiment. Nice. Character. Can we see this somewhere? Gear. No. Memories. Probably not. Anyway, it looks like we have now extra fingers. And we only need more organizing. We could probably keep doing... How much organizing does... This gives us a lot, though. 2 organizing. And friendship with Cal. Yeah, why not? You go to grab a wheelbarrow from the barn where Cal keeps his pet Diddlepillar. You find Cal standing over the empty trunk. Socks is nowhere to be seen. Cal sniffles, wipes his face before turning to you. She's gone, he mumbles. I came to see if she would eat some cornbread and she's just gone. Look, there's a hole in her box and everything, he says, gesturing to the trunk. Sure enough, it looks like Socks must have chewed her way out. Aw. Cal is on the verge of tears again. She doesn't know how to survive on her own. What if she starves? What if something eats her? What if she's scared? It wasn't safe for her here. She was getting really big, Cal mumbles, rubbing his eyes. She was probably gonna get found anyway. He closes the legs of the box and rests his head against it. I'm so sorry, little girl, he whispers. I tried, I really did. I'll miss you so much. Aww. Alright, best card. And some other good cards. Okay, we don't want more. That's 20 kudos. And 7 biology. Though we already have 100 biology. And 5 organizing. That's pretty good. Alright. What do we actually want still here? Is there actually something we still want at the supply depot? You know what? Let's buy the cake. I don't know what the cake does, but let's buy it anyway. Xenobotanic? Your work often overlaps with Tangent's work in the biochemistry and genetics labs, so it's not uncommon for her to pop by and ask questions about what you're working on, or for you to ask her for help interpreting some test results. She's uncharacteristically animated whenever she gets to talk about science, almost like she's a whole different person. She even laughs sometimes. Did you think it's so interesting how vertumnant species resist being classified by any known taxonomy? She asks, peering into the rude network you've sandwiched between pieces of clear glass. She stands up. It feels like everything is a little bit fungal. She says spores, fruiting buddies, mycellular networks, even animals. Some animals even photosynthesize. She nods excitedly. And the division between plant, animal, and fungus is less strict here than it was on Earth. At the cellular level, many animal species have properties of plants and vice versa. She launches into an explanation how high energy bonds store energy and require a metal catalyst like iron in human blood, or chlorophyll in green earth plants, but how different hues of vertumnian plants must mean they use an entirely unknown elemental catalyst, possibly not even metal at all. It's a little advanced for you, but Tank is very excited about it. Let's show her a beautiful flower. You pluck one of the yellow flowers the foragers brought in, intending to tuck it behind her oh so cute ear. Nice. She snatches it before you can say, fascinating, may I? And before you can respond, she has crushed it under a microscope and starts analyzing its cell structure. If you were trying to flirt with her, it flopped. Oh, Tag never change. Likes yellow flowers. Not in the way you think. Get to work. Okay. Supergirl! Thank you for the hat pad! Alright. Biology, we have already enough. But organizing? Nice. Equip an additional gear, that's nice. Yes, I'll hydrate. All right. Late wet. New perk, additional gear slot. Nice, 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 nice. Gear. Yeah, let's get the foot in over. Alright. Oh. What is tutoring again? Well, we can't tutor anyway. Relax on the walls? Yeah! You're enjoying some quiet time on the walls when you look down and see a group of school children on a field trip outside. Wait, are you missing a field trip? Maybe I'm missing something when you're doing schoolwork alone up here. Hell nah! Alright, it's glow time. The thing is, we aren't a fighter. Should we be fighting? Medical roots, that's nice. Alright. Does tutoring give us organizing? No. Alright, back to the Xeroponics it is. There are only a few glowing plants in the garden, so in the dark of the glow you have to do a lot of outdoor work by lamplight. In the eerie nut light, fertile earth dirt looks like same as Rotumnan earth dirt. It's so hard to see what you're doing. Get to work. Alright. That's a pretty good hand. Six. Alright. Well, that's a success. Plus for organizing. Neat, neat. Should we face it? I say yes. A roar wakes you up. It would wake the dead. It shakes the wall, rumbles through the ship hull, and makes your heart skip a beat. You're paralyzed by the sudden clench of fear in your gut. You're paralyzed by a sudden clench of... through your peephole window, you hear the metal screeching and people shouting, then another roar, guttural rumbling with the sound of a mountain collapsing. Something enormous is out there. Heck yeah. Gain status heroic. You don't know what gives you the courage, but you run out in the fields to face the horrible creature Hi! It has no face. In place of a face, or even a head, its body just unzips, revealing a mass of pink, wriggling pink tentacles, blinking eyes, pocked with jagged asymmetrical teeth. It stands on four enormous, powerful legs, each as wide across as tree trunks. Clinging to its back and its sick, slug-like tail are clumps of lichen that glow faintly in the light. The creature is nearly twice the height of a greenhouse. It's standing on top of a flattened one, the wreckage of lettuce and plants all around. Flickers of light from flash fires and stunger lights from underneath. The stench of ozone is thick in the air. You see her, Anemone and her brother Calm dart in around its leg with their twin shocks of red hair. The faceless creature lurches into another greenhouse, oblivious to the soldiers trying to herd it away. The monster left a trail of destruction from where it smashed right through the walls. Smaller creatures are pouring in through the gaps and heading towards. They're headed straight to command. You watch helplessly as the hordes of animals storm command, sneaking through torn away panels, smashing through the windows. It's too far away from the screams, but Governor Udicott is inside. What should we do? If we don't save Governor Udicott, she's as good as dead. I trust Anemone here. You guys better don't die. The smaller creatures are making a beeline for command, slipping into the heart of the colony while the defense squad is distracted. The line of sinking many-legged beasts passes by much easier targets, moving with eerie, almost tactical purpose. Whatever is happening, you have to stop them. The scene in command is chaos. The blast door that would have protected the bridge from depressurization in space are held open by a mound of corpses, both human and animal. Inside you hear Governor Udicott screaming for someone to help her. Alright, locked. Can we do something? Let's see. We can draw a card. We can redraw our hand. Our hand is not exactly bad, necessarily. Okay, next round. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay, we're going to make it even if we have to use stress. Ah, 10 stress. What is 10 stress to save a life? You beat back enough beasts to help Utica escape the bridge. As you shelter under the meeting room table, you hear horrible noises from the rest of the ship. Metal screeching. Oh, thank you for the headpad. That terrible abomination roaring. The sounds of the creatures outside tearing their way through the hallways, trashing everything. Suddenly the ship lurches and drops a few feet, buckling under the weight of something massive. Out of the porthole windows you see a fleshy pink tentacle slapped against the side of the ship before the faceless abomination outside crashes to the ground, taking the entire outer wall of the ship with it. Utica sobs quietly into her hands in the sudden silence. You wait a long time until congruence gives you an all clear. The council calls an all-colony meeting to face the aftermath of the attack. In the oppressive gloom of the glow, you gather the engineering with the other survivors. It's one of the few buildings still standing. The corpses of the faceless still sits in the caved-in wreckage of the stratospheric, spilling its flaccid pink tentacles from its horrible zipper-toothed maw. It's already beginning to stink. At least the governor survived. Governor Utica takes the stage and thanks you personally for rescuing her during the attack. Because of your bravery, the colony still has its leader. She also acknowledges the bravery of the defense squad, citing their heroism in finally taking down the Faceless. If only it had gotten away from them and stumbled right into the stratospheric. At least they stopped it before it got into engineering, as it would have activated the reactor and left a crater the size of an asteroid impact. Geoponics is gone. Oh boy. Geoponics is gone, the greenhouse is destroyed, the fields trampled. A year of suffering, starving, only barely scraping by. You're not just back where you started, it's even worse. The entire front half of the stratospheric has been destroyed. The living quarters, the canteen, the garrison, the lounge, even the crash, it's all gone. It's only by some stroke of luck that people hiding in the crash weren't all killed. Governor Utica solemnly reads the names of those who lost their lives. Too many. Oh no. Calm. No. I had a feeling that we're making a choice who lives and who dies. It's either Calm or Utica who dies here. I don't think you can save both. Anyone in the family cry out when her brother Calm's name is called. The quiet sobbing continues through the silence. With the living quarters destroyed, everyone moves into engineering wing for shelter. You're crowded into a classroom with other families. The adults try to make it seem like a sleepover, but you're still so shaken. Anemone cries about her brother, screams at anyone who tries to comfort her. Eventually you just ignore her grief, as painful as is to hear her sobbing at night. Aw. In the morning, yeah. You feel like you've been awake for days. You'll never fully sleep again. You try, but you keep choking awake, crying out in fear. Eventually you fall asleep, sitting up, held in your father's arms. Your sleep was fitful, but merciful dreams. Ah. Holy. Yeah, only engineering is left. We can't leave. And I think this is a good point to stop. I'm actually not feeling too great today, so I'm making this a shorter stream. But I hope you guys had fun. Thank you for joining, everyone. I'm glad you guys have fun. Yes, I hydrate. Aww, thank you. Sorry that I just stopped when you're tuning in. Hope you stop by next time. Thank you. Let's see who we raid. Thank you. So, who do we raid? Ooh. Alright. Let's go to Skari. We raided last time. Some of us saw her last time when we raided with Saki. Now we're gonna raid.